There's a room inside you with no handle on the inside. You did not build it. You inherited it the way you inherited the shape of your hands and the old fear of the dark. It sits somewhere past the lit rooms of who you think you are, behind a wall you've spent your whole life believing was solid stone. And the door, there is a door, opens only from the outside. The crowd carries the key. Begin where you feel safest, with the word civilized. You imagine it as a wall, a boundary raised once, long ago, by ancestors who tamed something, so that you could be born already gentled, already safe inside the perimeter. But civilization is not a wall you stand behind. It is a border you patrol, alone, every waking hour, with a vigilance so constant you have forgotten you are doing it. The persona, the face you wear, the name you answer to, is a treaty, a daily, private negotiation between the creature you were issued and the citizen you have agreed to be. You sign it each morning without reading it. You keep its terms in the small choices, the word swallowed, the impulse stepped over, the cruelty you felt rise and chose, quietly, not to feed. And here's the thing about a treaty held by one signatory. It holds only where you are watching. It holds in solitude, where the only witness to your conduct is the one who must live inside your conduct. Alone, you're the border guard and the border both. The treaty is unbreakable because there is no one to break it with. So you mistake the quiet of your own good behavior for the absence of anything that needs governing. That is the first error of the map. You drew the monstrous as a country far away, across some sea, populated by other men, the ones in the old footage, the ones in the reports, the ones who did the unthinkable. You drew a coastline between them and you, and called it character. But Jung looked at the same footage and saw no foreign country. He saw a capacity, not your personal wound, not the particular injury your particular childhood left, but something older beneath the personal entirely. The inherited basement under every house in the species. He called it the collective shadow. It is the sum of everything the human animal can do, and has agreed, in daylight, that it will not. It does not belong to you. It belongs to all of us, and therefore it sits in each of us, fully stocked, fully capable, behind a door we have each labeled, in our own private hand, not mine. Now watch how the key turns. A crowd gathers. At first it is only many names standing close together. But something happens to a name in a crowd that does not happen to it anywhere else. It begins to dissolve. The edges go soft. I thins into wai, and wai is a word with no address, no face, no one who must wake tomorrow as the person who did the thing tonight. This is the mechanism, and it is gentler and more terrible than you want it to be. The crowd does not pour evil into you. It does not teach you anything new. You arrived already carrying everything. The crowd performs a single surgical subtraction. It removes the witness, that lone guard at the border, the one who only ever held the treaty because he was being watched by the one who signs it. He steps back. Why would he stay? There is no name here for the conduct to attach to. There is no one, afterward, who must be the man who raised his hand. There is only we, and we feels nothing, because we is not a self. It is a fog with 1,000 throats. And in that fog, the door swings open from the outside, and the room you kept sealed your whole life is suddenly furnished, lit, and occupied by you. But the crowd does not simply open the room. It gives the room a direction. It hands you a compass. Because the contents of that room are unbearable to hold as your own, you do what the psyche always does with what it cannot own. You throw it outward. You find a face across the square, the other tribe, the marked man, the enemy, and you see written all over him the exact catalog of everything sealed in your own vault: his cruelty, his greed, his danger, his filth. Projection is the crowd's compass, and it always points away from the one holding it. The enemy outside is not a discovery. He is a map, a faithful, detailed map of the contents you refuse to admit were indoors. The intensity of your hatred is the measure of the resemblance. You do not rage at what is foreign to you. You rage at what is yours and disowned, wearing someone else's coat. This is why the mob always needs a face. It cannot bear to look at the room directly, so it requires a mirror it can call a monster, and then it can do to the mirror everything it could never admit it wished to do. And now we come to the lock. Not the door, the lock. Because you have been listening to all of this with a small, steady comfort running underneath. And it is time to name it. I would never. That sentence, the certainty of it, the way it rises in you, calm and final, as you watch the old footage and the recent footage and tell yourself the difference between you and them is that you simply do not have the room. Hear me carefully. That certainty is not the wall. That certainty is the lock. Because every single person who fell, every neighbor, every clerk, every ordinary soul who did the unthinkable inside a wee aisle and went home and could not explain it to the mirror, every one of them stood the day before exactly where you're standing now. Calm, certain, sure that the room did not exist in them. I would never was not their last defense. It was the proof they had never once gone down to look. The unvisited door is the unguarded door. The man who knows he could is the only man tending the threshold. The man who knows he never would has left the post entirely, because in his map, there is no post to leave. So the comfort you feel is not safety. It is the precise sound of a key sliding home. What then? If the wall is a door and the lock is your own innocence, and the key belongs to any crowd that can dissolve your name, what is left standing between you and the room? Only this: knowledge of the room, yours, held by you in daylight on purpose, to go down alone while no one is asking you to do anything and open the door yourself, to stand in the cold of it and take inventory, to say, without drama and without confession, this is here. This lives in me. Given the right crowd, the right fog, the right erasure of my name, I could. Not I would. Not I want to. I could. The capacity is mine. I have seen it. I know its weight in my own hand. This is the strange protection, and it is the only one. The room cannot be opened without you if you are already the one standing inside it, holding the lamp. The witness the crowd tries to subtract, you have made him permanent. He no longer depends on being watched. He has seen the contents himself, and he does not leave his post for a fog, because he knows exactly what the fog comes for. The ones who fall are the ones who never went down. The ones who hold are not the pure. They are the ones who know they are not pure and tend the door because of it. So here is where the map ends. Add a single image and I will leave you in front of it. A wall you have walked past your entire life, certain it was solid, and set into it, flush, unmarked, the faint seam of a door you were never meant to find, the one with no handle on your side. You can keep walking. Most do. You can call the seam a trick of the light and let the key stay with the crowd. Or you can put your palm flat against it and feel that it is warm because something has always been standing on the other side, waiting, patient, wearing your face. The only question the room ever asks is the one you have spent a lifetime refusing to hear. Not would you? Whether you would like some company before the crowd arrives to answer for you.